You're on.
Right, hello there everyone. Welcome to the Peak District Yarn Studio in Tideswell. As you can see, the sun is shining, which is unusual for Derbyshire, so I'm going to try and make the most of it and show you a quick demo of how you can do some solar dyeing. As you can see, the studio is in full pelt. We're preparing for Buxton wool gathering at the weekend, and some of these beauties will be on sale then, so look out for them. So, what do you need to solar dye? Well, firstly you need sun, because that gives you the heat which creates the chemical reaction that you need for your dyes to set. So, assuming we have that for the next couple of days, we should be okay. You also need a receptacle, similar to that, or potentially a large jam jar. Just make sure it's big enough to get your hand in, because if you can't, then you're going to struggle. Okay, so receptacle, sun, dyes. And I'm going to use Colourcraft Easifix Dyes, which are a really useful set of dyes because it comes with a fixer already in it. So you need nothing more than these dyes and the sun and a receptacle and some yarn. Don't forget the yarn. So in here I've got some yarn that's been soaking with a tiny little drop of washing up liquid for the past hour or so. That makes it all ready for the dyes to soak in and that magic chemical reaction to happen. So I've got two skeins of yarn. I've got a beautiful merino nylon sock yarn, and I've also got 100% merino double knit yarn, which is very springy and bouncy and takes the dye really well. They're both superwash yarns, so again that makes them really easy to dye with. So step one is to get one of your skeins of yarn. And this is the double knit, which I will just gently squeeze out some of the excess water and untangle it. It's got into a bit of a mess there. That'll do. And gently pop it into the receptacle. Okay. Let's move that yarn out of the way. Now the first skein I'm going to do, I'm going to use the flat pastel colours that I've got from the Colourcraft range, and I need a spoon with which to take it out of the dye pots. So here we've got a range of colours. I've got a woad blue, which is sort of a purpley blue, it's very pretty, salmon, coral red, the name is pretty self-explanatory, and a silver grey, which is a lovely, very pale grey colour, and they will blend lovely together in the receptacle with the yarn. I've got two silver greys because I'm just about to run out. So step one is to open up the dye pots. I would normally be wearing a mask for this, but I wanted to be able to express myself, so I've not put the mask on, and instead I've got the windows above me wide open. And all you do is take a little bit of the dye, which you can see has got some crystals in it. Now those crystals are the fixer. So in effect that sets the dye onto the skein of yarn. And I'm just gently going to sprinkle it into the skein, moving the yarn around so it spreads as far as it can do. Okay, bit of a shake. Okay, I'll now move on to the next colour. Just wipe the spoon to make sure I don't pollute my dye pots. And we're going to put some salmon pink is next. So again, sort of half a teaspoonful. Sprinkle it in. Now these colours will all mix together when the dye process or the setting process happens. So it'll be a lovely pastel-y effect that results. Okay. Next is coral red. Probably one of my favourite colours is in the Colourcraft range. I use quite a bit of this because it's so pretty. Again, There'll be quite a lot of the yarn towards the bottom which isn't catching any of these crystals. So what I'm going to try and do is just give it a bit of a shake, and that helps distribute the dyes around. And you can see they're actually already beginning to blend together. Okay, so that's number one. All you need to do now is find a really sunny spot. Because it's got the fixer, because it's got the dye, it now just needs heat, and that is what comes from the sun, fingers crossed. Okay, so that was number one. Just to show you number two, have a bit of a wipe up because I'm making a bit of a mess. Okay, the second colourway is going to be the sock yarn, which I'm going to do in a more autumnal colour. And just to make sure I get more and better coverage, I'm just going to do this in sort of layers. So let's just pop part of the skein in. For this colourway I'm going to use golden yellow, walnut, which is very pale brown, it's beautiful, autumn gold, which is another yellow colour, forest green, which is kind of a deep green colour, and a little bit of charcoal just for a bit of darkness. So we'll start with the lighter colours. Start with golden yellow. And we'll have a little, and we'll layer the yarn around, put another little sprinkle, and again, and this will distribute the dyes more regularly across the skein. Little bit of autumn gold, so again just going to lift up the skein a bit so we can layer it on. Dropping some grains of dye all over the place. A little bit of walnut comes next. Bit of forest green. This is quite a powerful colour, so I'm going to use a smaller amount of this. Just dust it onto the skein. And then finally a little bit of charcoal. Oh dear, it's been a bit of a dark area, slightly heavy-handed there. Okay, and as before, just pop the lid on, give it a bit of a shake to do some more distributing of the dye powders. And it'll be interesting to see how that comes out, because you can see there the dark and the yellow are all mixing together beautifully. And really that's it. All that needs to happen now is that I need to find a sunny spot either outside the studio or in the garden and let them cook. You know they're done when, if you rinse them, there's no dye solution comes out of them. It's somewhat difficult with solar dyes, but I'll show you how to do that when I come back in a couple of days and show you the results. Thank you for watching and enjoy Buxton wool gathering.